Hey, my name is Lance Johnson, artist. Welcome to Post No Ills. This is my exhibit at the McConnell Art Center, and I would love to join you in going through the show. A little bit about me as an artist. Born and raised in New York City, recent transplant to Columbus, and I must say that I love this community so much. This exhibit is about collaboration and celebrating the urban environment with vibrant colors and words of inspiration. So I titled this show Post No Ills because it brings me back to my childhood. Growing up in New York, going to school in New York City, I would walk by these construction sites all the time. They would have these ugly green, brown, sometimes blue walls over all these construction sites all over the place. And it would always have this sign that says Post No Bills. And the whole idea of Post No Bills is to stop people from putting advertisements up and graffiti on these walls. And it always struck me that regardless of this sign, people are always putting advertisements, always putting graffiti on these walls. And for me, those textures, those layers were beautiful. And I wanted to take that and incorporate that in my art. So instead of Post No Bills, I came up with the idea of Post No Ills, because it's all about inspiration. It's all about, for me, the beauty and diversity and complexity of the city. So, as you can see, I incorporate that quite often in my work. So part of this exhibit, I wanted to showcase this series of pieces that I'm working with. This is a Tapestry Series. And the idea behind these tapestries came to me when I was honored to do an art residency in Ankara, Turkey. It's about 2018. And I was so inspired by the culture there, the community, and when I would go outside and go to the markets, I would see these amazing fabrics, how they laid on the wall. And they were beautiful fabrics, beautiful Turkish fabrics. And I was like, how can I incorporate my style with these fabrics and the way they hang on the wall? So I decided to create a series of pieces that tie into my time in Turkey and create these sort of tapestries with raw canvas, and I would cut them up and put them back together with glue and let them hang on the wall loosely. And it tied back to not only Turkey, but also my roots with the Harlem Renaissance and the quilts that I would see from old African-American artists. It's an ongoing series for me, and I'm super excited about it. It inspires me so much. Growing up in New York City, I didn't know being an artist was a possibility. I never saw artists that looked like me, you know? I never thought it was a possibility to be a profession. But when I was 14 years old, my mom showed me this documentary about the Harlem Renaissance called I'll Make Me a World. And it was sort of like a seed was planted in me, because I would see these amazing young artists, musicians, writers, visual artists, painters, singers, and they were all coming together as a community and creating these amazing artwork and celebrating each other. And I love that idea of being an artist. And at that moment, I was like, man, I want to be an artist. And like I told my mother all the time, she inspired me with that video, and she had no idea, but that seed was planted at that moment. And from there, I went on to visualizing and voicing different things. I wanted to create art that spoke to my heritage. It also spoke to my roots in the city, the urban environment, and to celebrate the diversity with colors and energy and movement. One thing that's always been important to me as an artist is collaboration, community and collaboration, right? I'm always inspired by other artists that I meet, and when I put this show together, Post No Ills, I wanted it to be a celebration of the community. I wanted it to be bigger than me. I wanted it to be more about the community. And I reached out to a bunch of artists that I knew in Columbus, and I was like, we gotta collaborate, because I'm putting this show together and it wouldn't be complete without collaborations from some of my favorite artists. So this one in particular is important to me, and the story behind it is so amazing. The artist, her name is Celeste Malvar Stewart, is an amazing textile artist here in Columbus and fashion designer. And she works with a lot of organic materials, and this piece in particular, I went to her studio, I gave her this raw canvas, and I was like, please do something with it. And she was like, oh, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. But when I went into her studio, she started tearing it apart, deconstructing the canvas. And I thought it was an amazing idea. But also, if you can see closely, there are pieces of denim woven into the piece as well. And that was important too, because I know she works with denim, but she told me the story of where she actually got this denim from. There was a young man that she met about a week ago before I went into the studio, and walked over to her and was like, hey, I know you use jeans in amazing ways, and I have this bag of jeans from my brother who passed away about a month ago, and he's 40 years old, and it was devastating to our family, and he had all of these jeans, and we didn't know what to do with them. We didn't want to give them away, but I knew that you would put these jeans to good use, and you would do something amazing with them. And when I got to the studio, she started weaving in these jeans, this denim, into the piece, and it's amazing because now this is a monument to the boy's brother, right? And we wanted to name it Brotherly Love. On the opening of the show, this young man came in and saw this piece and was so emotional, you know? And for me, that's how art can connect us all, you know? It can be so powerful. So now this piece will represent for this young man his brother's legacy. And for me, that was so important to me. And I love this piece for that reason. The foundation of my work is the words. And the reason I use words of inspiration is because I'm always thinking about young artists, young people in particular, that see my work and how they can be impacted by it and how they can be inspired by it, right? But also, again, the collaborations, right? So this piece in particular here is very important to me as well, because the artist that I collaborated with was a young 12-year-old. Her name is Ava, and her work is amazing. And when I saw her, I knew I had to collaborate with her because she represents the future, right? And it's like, sort of like a passing of the baton almost. So when I told her I wanted her to be a part of the show, and I met her family, they were beyond excited because she had never shown her work, right? And she didn't know if she had the confidence to show her work. And then when I just told her to just go, just do your thing. There's no rules. Whatever you want to put on that canvas, it's up to you. And she created this amazing portrait. And during the opening of the show, her family got to come in and see her piece in an art center. And it was so powerful for them. And they were so excited and happy. So again, for me, that's what it's all about, you know? Art connecting people and me trying to inspire the younger generation.